We're live? Okay, so I am Ilana Tulloch. I'm the co-founder and marketing director for Baby Elephant Boutique Hotel. We are sitting in the garden at Baby Elephant in Siem Reap, Cambodia. On my right-hand side is our pool, which you can't see, and just behind the camera I have some some wonderful people, including Sombo, who is my tech support, and Pisay, who will be talking to me soon, and Gang, who was going to come in and talk as well. And this is Lenny. I'm so grateful that he's here with me, and my lovely friend Joss, who has been very supportive throughout COVID. So I chose International Women's Day as a day to talk to everybody. After we had a conversation last week, we were planning what our International Women's Day promotions were going to be. We had a meeting, and the meeting turned into a sharing session with a number of the Baby Elephant group staff. And as we shared, I came up with this idea. I thought, I've been wanting to do a Facebook Live for a long time. I've been wanting to talk to everybody who's been so supportive from afar during the COVID-19 tourism crisis, and I've been wanting to say thank you. And especially I just really wanted to tell you what we've done with your support, and sort of talk about some of the pretty crazy things we've gone through, and also some of the wins, some of the happy times, and really just get a bit more energy ready for the future too, and make sure that you know what we're up to so you can get excited with us. So I think it's working. Is it working? Yeah? What I would invite you to do is engage in the live feed. That means go ahead and ask questions, post comments. If you have any memories from the last year, or even the last 5.5 years of Baby Elephant, or even me personally, one of our staff, please comment in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Let's share, let's celebrate. I think International Women's Day is a good day to celebrate and to really remember the good things, as well as think about the challenges. You had one job. Where, if you can't see him, Wesley is now in camera too. So, which was the one thing we didn't want. So where was I? So yeah, International Women's Day is a great day to think about what we've done, what we've achieved. The theme this year is Choose to Challenge. And on a personal level, when I was thinking about that, I thought it's time for me to choose to challenge myself to speak up, to actually embody the person, the leader that I want to be, and to be talking not just to my team about what I want for them, but to you, our community, because hopefully I can inspire you too, or at least inspire some discussion, find some support or opportunities. I always believe, like, if there's an opportunity for me, there's an opportunity for my team. If I'm successful, they're successful. And also within my community, I really believe that if one of us is successful, that's a shared win for everybody, because when we, especially in an environment with challenges like abject poverty, when one person comes up, a whole community comes up with them. So I'm not sure if any questions have started to come through yet, or any comments. Not yet? Okay, in that case, I'm just going to start from the very beginning of COVID. So we know in about January last year, things started to go a bit weird. We were hearing whispers from China that there was a new kind of bird flu that was pretty deadly. There was a whistleblower who unfortunately died, and that is actually one thing I'd like to say is I'm really sorry for everybody who's lost someone to the virus. But things spiraled pretty quickly out of control, as we all know, and the world changed drastically in ways that I don't think anyone globally could have imagined was even possible. From Siem Reap, what we noticed And it was actually, I mean, I don't believe that anyone wasn't traumatized, but we were traumatized. We watched every single booking, and we get bookings up to 3 years in advance. Every single booking was cancelled. It was just, that became our full-time job, was managing cancellations. And at that stage, we didn't know that we were going to be in big trouble. We did the worst case scenario, let's say 6 months, zero income. What does that look like? How do we survive? And that was scary enough. Had I thought it would be 2 years, zero income, I'm not sure what decision I would have made. I really didn't expect this. But yeah, so our full-time job became managing cancellations. And in hindsight, I really wish we'd said, please, can you just keep your money with us and for a holiday in the future, because we can use it now to keep afloat. But then when we didn't do that, we realized, hey, we've got to move a lot faster because things are unfolding faster than we can keep up with. So we didn't have time to stop and reflect or really get too upset about it. It just suddenly became survival mode for our team. Everybody was very scared about COVID in the early days. We didn't understand what COVID was. We didn't understand how it was killing people or how to protect ourselves from it. And so we were very much waiting on some of the amazing government and non-government organizations in Cambodia to send information to us. So we were watching World Health Organization, we were watching government. Ministry of Health really does a great job of communication here. But we were watching and waiting for directives on how to protect ourselves and how to protect our guests from COVID. We were holding regular meetings, but yes, fear was in the air. Everybody was scared, and some of our team decided to go back to their villages to be with their family because their families were scared too. But where possible, in our meetings, our team told us that they really need to keep their jobs because everybody was losing their jobs around them, and that includes their family members. And when you have to be the sole person making money in your family, you want to keep that job. So we then chose, despite the imminent threat of a lockdown, we chose to stay open. It was sort of, we had to weigh up the health risk with the economic risk. And we decided we can manage both. We have to, because if our team don't have money, they can't support their families. And we didn't have, and we don't have, we're very much a bootstrapped social enterprise. We don't have enough money that we could keep paying them if we didn't have money coming in. So we stayed open. We did a number of pivots, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But if I slow down a little bit, Baby Elephant Group, if you don't know, Baby Elephant started as Baby Elephant Boutique Hotel 5.5 years ago. We expanded and we became Baby Elephant Boutique Hotel and Be Happy Guest House. B is like B-E, Baby Elephant, get it? It's a play on words. And we thought one of the lessons that we can learn from Cambodians, and that I've personally learnt from living with Cambodian people, is that happiness is really important in the culture here. Sabai, when you ask, how are you? You ask, Sok Sabai, and that means, are you happy, really? And then when you go to get a blessing at the pagoda, the monk will say to you, he'll wish you the blessing will wish you happiness. So happiness is an integral part of culture here, and that really was the reason we decided to call the guest house Be Happy. The reason that we expanded to have a guest house was what we noticed. In order to remove some of the barriers to professional development here, we needed to be able to departmentalize, to have divisions that people could work in. A huge problem here in Cambodia is there are a lot of barriers to success, to overcoming poverty, and even though, and this is something I'm proud of and that I really believe in, what I love about hospitality industry is that there are very low barriers to entry into the industry. That means anyone can get a job, and we have employed mums who've been out of work until their kids finish school. We've employed a farmer who hadn't worked almost ever in a formal work environment. We try to make sure that there are entry points for anyone, regardless of their educational skill level. But on the other end of the scale, without divisionalization, there are no ways to go up in a corporate structure, and there are no pathways into better jobs. So that's why we decided to expand. So we expanded at first into having Be Happy Guest House, which meant we were big enough then that we could have a food and beverage department, a housekeeping department, and we could create more jobs. More rooms equals more jobs. And that for us is very fulfilling, and I think for the team it's great to have a lot of different people working with them. It's more fun. And then after that we expanded into having Sugar Spa, which our mission and vision with Sugar is to employ women especially, or women identifying people as spa therapists. It's also an industry that we believe is low barrier to entry, but that the more skills you get in beauty industry, the more desirable you are as a job candidate, the more empowered you are. And these women come from backgrounds of extreme hardship and in some cases trafficking. We really would love to see that grow. At the moment, we've just done our best to hold on in the small sort of form that it is. And we also have Yoga Space, and Yoga Space is a commitment to the community. It's about community and love. We believe a healthy community is an empowered community too. The more we focus on ourselves and focus on self-love and being fit and healthy and the best versions of ourselves, the better we can be as members of society. And I think maybe, because I'm just enjoying talking, but I did want some of my team to come and talk to me too. So I think this is probably a good time for who would like to go first. I've got Pasay and Gang in the background. Okay, Gang's going to come first. So the interesting thing about Cambodian names is that this is Miss Gang. Cambodian names are very different to English names, so sometimes the way I pronounce it isn't quite right. Would you mind saying what your name is and what you do here at Baby Elephant?
So my name is Kane. So before that I come to work at the Baby Elephant, I study at the Sunamai Hotel School and...
We can share it.
Yes.
It's okay, you just hold it. So your name is Miss Game.
Yeah.
You studied at Salabai School. Your passion is hospitality industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did you do before you studied at? For people who don't know, Salabai is an amazing NGO that supports young people into professional parts of hotel and service industry here in Siem Reap. So what did you do before you went to Salabai School?
I just, before I'm studying at Salabai, I just work at the main cafe for the waitress. Yeah. And
washing dishes? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's great. The reason we're talking today is for a few reasons, because it's International Women's Day, to celebrate you and how hard you work at Baby Elephant, and then number two, to ask you about your experience in the last year of COVID. So number one, I just want to ask you about, what does International Women's Day mean for you?
I think it is the birthday that celebrating of the social and for the government of the women.
Yes.
Yes.
And so how was your last year with COVID working at Baby Elephant?
It is really hard for me because I need some money for the support of my family, and in my family we have just only me, so for the supporting for my family, so find the money or something like that.
So yeah, for people who are listening, This is a problem that faces many, many women in the workplace here. In fact, most people who have jobs, but especially women who work, bear the responsibility of supporting their entire extended family with their income. So one of the ways that we decided to help, knowing that that it was not just about the salary of the employee, it was about their extended family, was that we said, stop paying rent. We've got, we don't have any tourists here. We don't have anyone filling the hotel rooms. So stop paying rent wherever you're paying rent and move into Baby Elephant. Eat your meals here. We'll pay your Wi-Fi, electricity, and water, and just stay here. That way, that extra money that you were spending on living expenses now is actually, you can direct that straight to the family members who are out of work. So was that helpful for you?
Yes.
Yes?
I'm happy to, now I'm still help to working for find the money for support my family as well.
Yes. One of the things that we really take seriously, but unfortunately in the current circumstances without income, well, as a social venture, we try to put all of our profits back into ensuring that we meet our mission and vision, which is to create empowered employment for hospitality's rising stars. In the context of COVID, that is close to impossible without your help. We're doing our best to keep everybody employed, but things like tips, any extra hours that they used to get, any chance that they can actually get a raise this year, for example, it's impossible for us to do right now. What I'm hoping is that if we continue to talk with our community like this, perhaps you'll help us to put some money in, or sponsor one of our staff members, and just to keep us going until after COVID we become the thriving business that I want us to be. And what is really exciting for Gang is that she's just started training on reception. So that's really exciting. Yay.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Celebrating her success. So a year of working, I guess how long have you been working at Baby Elephant?
I have been to work 1 year and 16 months.
1 year and 6 months.
Yes.
So a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. So within a year and a half, she's been able to move departments and to start to learn new skills in a different area of the hotel. So that's something we try to do too, isn't it?
Yes.
We talk to each other, we talk about what our goals and aspirations are, and we try to find opportunities for our staff to move into different parts of the hotel depending on their passions. Do you like that?
Yeah, I really like it.
Okay. Do you have anything else you would like to tell people who are listening?
No.
All right.
That's it.
I might actually ask, does anyone have any questions for Gang? Because now might be the time to ask. So I'm going to look at the phone and see if we do have any questions coming in. This is my first time doing a live, so it looks like we don't have any questions. Is that correct? There was one? What's?
If you are the sole owner.
Oh, yes.
About we, so who is we?
Sure. So that's not about you.
Yeah.
We can get back to that. So there are 4 co-founders, Adam Scott, Carmel Tulloch and Inez Tulloch. The major investor is Carmel Tulloch. She lives in Australia and runs a catering company which has similar mission and vision to us, except that in the Australian context, what Carmel does is employ people from either backgrounds of long-term unemployment, recent migrants to Australia and refugees, or people from marginalised backgrounds such as people who are Indigenous or people who have development problems such as autism, who need support in the workplace to succeed. So I hope that answers that question. We do have a question. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure how to find the question.
Just where your family lives.
Oh, where does your family live?
They live at the poor district and
Okay, so they live in Phuoc district.
yeah,
Now,
like the countryside. Yes.
Phuoc is like a beautiful part of the country that borders Siem Reap. So we have Siem Reap City, Siem Reap Province, and then we have Phuoc District.
Yes.
No, is that right?
Yes, of course.
And Phuoc District is still in Siem Reap Province, right? Yes. So it's really, really pretty there, but it's quite a way away. It's about 30 to 40 kilometers from here. We have 2 staff members who travel every day to and from Phuoc District, but Gang doesn't. I'm glad you don't, because it's a bit dangerous to do that journey every day. Yeah. And so what does your family do in Phuoc District?
They like just a farmer.
Farmers?
Yes.
And what kind of things do they farm?
Like the rice and the potato. Yes, some potato and some more vegetable and that's it.
That's great.
Another question
Yes?
from Anna to Kay is that what is she the most excited about moving into reception? As she remember that Kay was working in a restaurant previous time. So how are you excited?
What are you excited about learning on reception? When you move to reception, what are you excited to learn?
I'm really so because I think maybe I don't want to do something like the same. I just want to change for the experience. Yes.
So excited to learn new things,
Yes.
for new challenges. And so on International Women's Day, you choose to challenge yourself to learn new things on reception.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Really exciting. We do believe when we had our International Women's Day chat last week, so as I said, a bunch of women were here by the pool. We sat around and we spoke about a lot of things, but one of the things I spoke to them about is learning and a learning mindset, and how important that is to me as a leader, and also in order for us to have a positive mental attitude at work. It means that if you don't know how to do something, that is not a bad thing. That's not something that should be perceived as negative. It's actually an opportunity to learn. So learning mindset means when you can't do something, when you don't know how, then you say, I wonder how I can learn to do this, and you be curious. And so that's what one of Gang's qualities, one of her passions, is learning new things.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about this year and all of the things that we're going to learn together.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Gang. Any more questions? What was the next question that came in?
What are you learning from Baby Elephant? What do you need?
Oh, I have to learn like for the first time that I come to work at a Baby Elephant, right?
So what do you learn here? By working in the Baby Elephant team, what do you learn here?
For the new thing that I learned, we have like the new cocktail, new style of service, and new food that I know. Yeah, and some that now I remove to the train at the receptionist as well.
Okay. And how about working at Baby Elephant when you think about working in the cafe that you worked at before? Why is it different?
Because the coffee that I make, that I learned before, like I learned about like the coffee machine, how to make the coffee, like the cappuccino, latte, something like that. But for the here, I learned just only about like the new thing, like Khmer coffee. Yes.
Yeah. American style coffee, actually.
Yes.
So that's probably, she's just talked about something that would be a dream for us, is to have a cappuccino maker and espresso machine, but it's the kind of investment that with the income that we have coming in, we haven't been able to make. But for the desires of our team and what they would really love to learn, They would love to learn barista skills. They would love to learn to make espresso, coffee, cappuccinos, and to have that opportunity every day. So that's one of the really big challenges we face here, is that we know what people need and skills-wise, what they want to learn, and but we've got some barriers in terms of income. So my personal goal and challenge is to try and figure out some new streams of income that can clear those blockages and make sure that our team can do the things that that they say they want to do. So are there any other questions coming in for Gay? That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to take
Akun bong.
Akun on.
Yeah.
So Akun on means thank you, little sister.
Thank you.
And Akun bong means thank you, big sister. Yes. So I'm going to keep talking because that's what I do best. Yep, love to tell you what I think about things. And yeah, thank you for my coffee.
Yeah. Thank you.
My American Khmer style coffee. So moving back to the start of COVID, so Sugar Spa and Yoga Space used to be across the river. We were in a complex called Kings Road, really cute little place right near the river. We had a number of conversations with our landlords there to try and see if they would give us a rent break, because we could see that there was the borders were closing. A number of countries were announced as being banned from entering Cambodia, and so our normal channels of income were being shut down. So when it became apparent that they wouldn't be able to give us a rent break, and we understand why, the economic pressure is huge for everybody, we decided to break the lease, which means we lost a fair bit of money, especially on renovations, deposit, things like that, and move here to Baby Elephant. So at Baby Elephant we now have Sugar Spa and Yoga Space on site as well. The reason I think that it's interesting to share that is that well, at least one of our staff at Sugar had only been working with us for 10 days. So to put that kind of change on somebody is a really big thing. So it was extremely stressful, and as much as I tried to make sure it wasn't a stressful transition, managing that change was intense. And so what we did when we moved over here was, it was just crazy. We cleared out a linen storage room and made it into a spa. And this linen storage room had been the same for 5 years. It had been just this really, we just hadn't thought about it, you know, like you put the stuff inside the room and that's the end of it. So turning a storage room into a spa was quite a big undertaking. And I really wish we had photos, but because of how fast things were moving, we didn't have photos of what it looked like before. But what it looks like now is just so cute and beautiful, and we're so thrilled with it. But it was a journey for sure. And one of the things that happened was that a pipe burst in the ceiling while we'd just moved everything, you know, all of our beautiful spa equipment into this room, and a pipe burst in the ceiling. And it had something to do with the filter. So the water that came through was rusty. So we had rust one morning opening the spa and expecting clients, and there's just rusty water all over everything. And so when things like that happen, I think you build resilience, because you either sink or swim, really. And when you think you can't take any more, and something else happens, I really feel like in that area of discomfort is where personal growth happens. But it doesn't happen without some pain. So while we continued to persevere, we did watch a lot of people, a lot of our peers go out of business. And that was also really challenging on a personal level, because it's really sad. I mean, people losing huge investments, people losing their jobs, the amount of people, the poverty rate was set to soar last year, and I'm not sure about this year, but soar to 19.4% unemployment rate was going to be 19.4% in Cambodia. That is enormous. Like, that is a lot of people to be out of work. The problem with that as well is it means people are insecure. They don't have National Security Fund access. So if they were to get COVID, how can they get medical treatment? This was something that we were thinking about too. We need to keep our staff employed so that they can have access to insurance. And throughout COVID, we continued to pay for emergency dental, emergency medical, and to pay into the National Security Fund scheme in order that our staff are at least safe is probably not the right word, but protected in case of being infected with COVID. I haven't spoken yet about COVID in Cambodia, but we had in terms of health, we had a very lucky first year of the pandemic. And I think by the end of last year, we'd had 300 cases, all of which were fairly well contained. It's only been this year that things have taken a turn because someone bribed a security guard at a quarantine centre and then went out partying during their 2-week quarantine. And so they went to every karaoke bar and casino in Phnom Penh. And Phnom Penh is the capital of Cambodia. So we now have a situation that we believe is still pretty much in control. The amount of testing far outweighs the amount of cases that are being diagnosed. But there are places that are in lockdown and around the country. Sihanoukville, which is a beachside city, and Phnom Penh have some areas of lockdown. Here in Siem Reap, things are still pretty much business as usual, except that gyms are closed down again. But the thing that isn't business as usual is how quiet it is. And by March this year, I did not believe that it could get worse in terms of, tourism, but it truly has. And we don't have anyone coming in. The people who are sort of stuck here have their own problems to deal with, and we're trying to be as supportive as we can in a community sense in that way too. So what I started to do towards the end of last year was work extra jobs. So I pretty much work every waking hour now, and when I work those extra jobs, the money that I earn goes straight back into paying the salaries of our staff, which meant that I reached a period of burnout, unfortunately, where I had chronic fatigue and a sort of number of infections. I started to have weird reactions to eating bread and put on weight and sort of spiraled, and I think this is getting a bit personal now, but spiraled a little bit too much. I was just really stressed out. But I've come to realize, and going back to that resilience, is that in order to face these challenges, the number one thing that I have to do personally is be healthy and be looking after myself, to slow down a little. And I think by encouraging the people around me, that my community, my employees, my friends and family to be healthy too, together we can persevere and get through this. I think it's about time that I'd like to invite Pisay to come and talk to me too. So going back to the theme of International Women's Day, please come and join me.
Hello guys.
So this is Miss Pisay. Now, before you start telling me about yourself, I just want to give a bit of context. Yeah. Just because, so we've had a few staff leave during the time of COVID, but just because a staff member leaves doesn't mean that job doesn't exist anymore. In order for us to be a divisionalized hotel, in order for us to meet our mission and vision, we still have positions that need to be filled. If we don't fill those positions, we can't fulfill our vision and mission. I hope that explains it. So, Pisay has only recently started working with us, I think about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's 1 month and a half, I think. Maybe.
Oh my God, I was exactly right. I've been counting every moment. It's been so fun. I love you. Yeah. So yes, the thing about Pisay is she's very friendly and talkative, and has some excellent ideas that I love hearing about. So what does International Women's Day mean for you?
For me, International Women's Day is the day that all of the people around the world acknowledge the great women who have or still making the world to be a better place, and especially to celebrating them for their achievement and success.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this
Especially
today.
it's about you.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, in a way it is, but it's also just, I wanted to talk about us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and celebrate the achievements of the women of Baby Elephant. So, yeah, it's a really important time to reflect, to think about the achievements of women, to think about what we want.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation last week
Yeah.
with the entire team where we spoke about, I'll wait for that car to go by. We spoke about gender roles,
Yeah.
about roles in the family, marriage, fertility, work, and all of those different competing things. And the fact that we're all different, really, and what we want can be, it's okay to be different. So when we have someone who just wants to be married and have children and stay at home, that's okay. We support each other no matter what.
Yeah.
But what do you want?
Oh. For me, right?
Yes.
As I spoke last week, so actually I don't want to marry at a young age. So the truth is I grew up without parents, so I have to support it by myself. I have to find a job and making money to support myself and for my daily life and also my study and have other people before I'm married.
Yeah. So Pisay doesn't have parents and therefore at a very early age was responsible for herself, which is a very different set of circumstances to Gang. But of course, when we're talking about Cambodia, the hardships are very real regardless of your background. Was it hard for you growing up?
It's not that hard because thanks to the movement surrounded by me, they teach me how to survive by myself and learning how to make money. So sometimes it is hard, but I can survive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's your goal for the future?
For the future, actually, I have my goal for the future. It is I have to finish my university before I turn in 30 years old, and after I finish my university, I will start my own business. So I would like to build like a small store with a coffee shop and some cake, and also have a book for them to read. That is my goal.
That sounds very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coffee is a common theme here. Everybody loves coffee in Cambodia. And now the cat's here. I did want to, sorry Pisay, I will say when there's so many animals circling around me. One of the things about Baby Elephant is that we have heart, and we find it really hard to say no to animals in need. The cat here, Xanadu, actually, she came with us from Indonesia. Adam and I lived in Jakarta before moving here, so she's a Javanese street cat who got packaged up and moved to Siem Reap. But all of the other animals are adopted, and it really is very difficult to see animals suffering here. And when one turns up on your doorstep, it is almost impossible for us to turn them away. Actually impossible. That's why we have 5 pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Pisay, is there anything that you would like people to know, people who are listening from overseas, perhaps about what it's like to live in Cambodia as a woman?
Yeah, so for the women in Cambodia, it is hard more than women from the Western, because we are growing up without more education like men. So most of the women have to marry at a young age to support their family, but I think they have to change that culture. So for the women, I would like them to study more and have more confidence and acknowledge to show herself her skill to survive by herself, not depend on the other. Yes.
Okay.
It means like all the women have to be strong.
So Pisay is saying she'd like to see some challenges to, she would like to see people choose to challenge traditional gender roles in the family in Cambodia, to think about the fact that women are very much responsible for keeping the family together here, and think about how maybe more of that responsibility should be shared with, for example, the man in the household if they have a traditional family structure.
Yeah.
Yeah? But for some women who don't want to get married, I think, I remember you saying this,
Yeah.
that there should be some acceptance of that too, that it's okay not to want to have children, it's
Yeah.
okay not to want to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, so we've got a question. Comments?
There's some comments for Pisai.
Yeah.
That well said, you're inspiring and you're brave.
So, well said, you're inspiring and you're brave.
Oh.
Thank you. Do you understand? It's not a question. It's
Yeah.
just a comment to say congratulations, you did a good
Oh,
job.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So something else, I've invited the staff members to speak who can speak English. I understand that means that in some ways I'm excluding some of our staff from the conversation. But in order to include them, I thought I would talk about what we spoke about last week. And if you can stay with me now, that would be great.
Yeah,
I'll talk
yeah.
about that.
Okay.
But one of the most profound things that we discussed, which was very sad for one of our team members, is that she would really like to have a baby.
Yeah.
And she has been trying, but she has fertility problems. So one of the problems with being a country that's underdeveloped, that we don't have a lot of resources, there's not enough money. There really isn't. There just isn't enough money. So there's no way that she can probably access fertility treatment on her income. And then adoption would be very hard too, because that's a costly process. So coming to terms with that as a woman here, where traditional gender roles are so entrenched, is very hard for this young woman. And so what she said was that she has a happy family life. She loves her husband.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but she really wishes that they could have a child. So we spoke a little bit about that, and we spoke about what it means to be whole as a woman, regardless of sort of society expectations too, because coming to terms with that fact is going to be really hard, I think, for our colleague. So one of the things that I would like to do personally to help is to start to see if there are ways that perhaps she could adopt. But again, it comes down to development. What I would love to is for her to move up in our corporate structure, to take on more responsibility at work, to become a working woman who has more resources in order to support her family. I do have something that I think, there's a little bit of noise around us, that I think is kind of a problem that's presenting itself at the moment. When we talk about gender, when we talk about equality, this is a global problem. When women are not participating in the workforce, so the underrepresentation of women in the workforce, it actually becomes a country's economic problem, because that's less people working. But the other thing is that how do we as a society treat women who have children or want women, and how can they continue to work or continue to be part of the workplace? And this is not just a Cambodia problem, this is a global problem, because women still, even though feminism happened many years ago, women still have to choose whether they want to have a work life or a home life. So the best workplaces are the ones that allow women to make that choice in a safe way, in a way that they feel they will be supported. So I think a challenge for Baby Elephant and for us is to think about that, to think deeply. How do we create a workplace that supports families? And one of the questions that I did get prior to this was, are women allowed to bring their toddlers, their babies to work? We've had a couple of our staff get pregnant before, and we have a maternity leave policy, but they chose, because of traditional roles, they chose with their family's advice to leave their jobs. We said they can come back when they are ready, but so far they didn't come back. But for people who have older children, They often bring the children to work. We have a very family-friendly environment, so the kids can come to work, have lunch with everybody. Everybody eats their meals at work. So we do try to make sure we're supportive of families. And that's for dads and mums, because I think dads have to be there for children too, so having paternity leave is important too. If anyone has any questions about that, we'd be happy to hear them.
Yeah.
But Pisay, is there anything else you'd like to say to everybody?
Just like I said, that I just would like them to just all of the baby elephant family here, because we have more women work here more than men, so I just want them to be happy like this and happy to learn more things and happy to work together as the team at Baby Elephant and keep smiling.
Thank you. Me too. I will be wrapping it up soon, but you can stay with me as long as you like.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy for you to stay. So the one of the things that I just want to acknowledge right now, which is very personal, my mum is currently having surgery, which is totally bizarre that I'm sitting here doing a Facebook Live and my mum is having surgery, but she's having a breast reconstruction after breast cancer. So another thing about being an entrepreneur, which my mum is too, and being someone who works hard and dedicates their life to other people, is that sometimes you let go of your own health and forget to take care of yourself. So we're lucky. We're lucky that the cancer was treated quite quickly, and that she's now in remission, that she's able to have this breast reconstruction. But I think it's an important thing to just raise, is that self-care is really important.
Yeah.
And I really hope that the surgery is going well, and Mum and Carmel, we love you.
Yeah.
And that said, we also lost some of our guests last year to cancer. Some people who were huge supporters of the Baby Elephant team, Kaz and Michael. They were very, very dear to me and to us, and I had hoped for, years and years of friendship with them. So cancer is an awful disease, and I'm really sorry that they're gone. I'm sorry to their loved ones, and they remain in our hearts here at Baby Elephant. Also, for anyone who lost a loved one to COVID, we're so sorry, and you have been in our thoughts this entire year. We have been thinking about our global community and the challenges that you've been facing. It has not been easy anywhere. But we... what's next? I think it's probably about time for me to wrap up. So I think if anyone has questions, I might just talk about something else before taking these questions. So start to post your questions if you have any more. So our goal is, at the moment, is to survive. We say we never, ever, ever give up, which was a quote that comes from Winston Churchill, who is a very quotable man. If you ever need some inspiration, just Google Winston Churchill. He's got some amazing things to say. But we never, ever give up. We're the Baby Elephant team, and we'll keep fighting. We'll keep fighting for our jobs. We'll keep fighting to make sure that you have a beautiful place to visit when you come to Siem Reap. Yep, and we'll keep fighting to make sure that people have better opportunities in a place where there are so many barriers to success.
Yeah.
I think the next thing that I wanted to talk about, the thing about adopting so many animals is that they're just a little bit annoying. Every day you've just got to be, you have to learn how to be serene and relaxed when there's really annoying animals around.
But most people, I think they like animals.
Yeah?
Yeah. Such as Happy, he's always smile to our guests here, so we are happy.
That's true.
Yeah.
So Happy is our COVID dog. We think he might have been dumped here during COVID, and he was just so cute and so needy. He had mange. He was covered in ticks and fleas. He wasn't well, but he had such a beautiful personality. So we said Happy. we need you to stay and be our one of our team. So Happy now keeps our night receptionist company at night,
Yeah.
and he keeps everybody safe, and he's just around, and he's just such a joy to have here. He's just a lovely dog. And Happy has two other names, Splodge and Hugo. So, but some of those names are difficult for Cambodian people to say, so we thought Happy's pretty easy to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy English word. So we love Happy. We love the animals, and I did want to say, like, we spend time investing in community as well, which includes Pagoda Cats. We love the work that our friends do with animal welfare, and where possible we try to contribute to that in Siem Reap, but we also contribute to social causes. Anjali House, which is a charity. I think it's focused on creativity, or a lot of what they do is very much focused on creativity. We supported them on the weekend, and we do our best to just be involved in our community. That's something that is very, very important to us, is being involved in our community, doing what we can so that the whole community grows together. So what questions do we have coming in?
So it was, Nadia wants to know, how is Women's Day celebrated in Cambodia?
Normally, for the children in the house, they will cook something for their mother, or buy some rose or some flower that is her favorite to give it to her. Yeah, it's not like other country. It is no more here. Yeah.
But it is a public holiday.
Yeah.
I don't think it is this year. It is? It's a public holiday.
It is.
Yeah, all around the world.
Also here. So there's the day to celebrate women here as well, with businesses closed, quite a few.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we usually on Women's Day take the team out to do something like hot pot or ice cream. And I guess this is something that I really did want to say, but I forgot. This year, actually, let's say about a week ago, I was feeling a little bit depressed because I was realizing we don't have enough income that I can take my women out to, the women who work for Baby Elephant, out to lunch or out to do something special this year. And that was making me feel really sad. The other thing is that we were supposed to be running a retreat this weekend in Mondulkiri, and we had to cancel that due to COVID-19. The thing that then happened, which made me feel so inspired and full of love and happiness, is that my team actually came to me with ideas for International Women's Day promotions, because they wanted to work on International Women's Day and hopefully have some more people around taking advantage of some deals to showcase their skills. So everybody got really excited about actually being at work. So it turned into being something really special, even though at the time, this time last week, I was really worried it was going to be a missed opportunity, because it's something we take seriously every year.
When you talked about the coffee machine, Raylene wanted to know, can you even get that here? Because she thinks it's a great investment. So is that even something that's accessible at this time if you wanted to put that into the company? Yes, there's a wonderful, because our supply chain policy is to be ethical and to support other social ventures. There's a company called Feel Good Coffee, and we would love to get a coffee machine from them, have them train our staff and support their efforts, because what they do for the community, for coffee communities, is just wonderful and really contributes to development of the industry in the region.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. Most of the people love coffee.
So both Kate and Raylene want to know, basically, Kate said, how can we help keep Baby Elephant going for the team? And Raylene also asked, how can we help?
I would love your ideas too about this. Really what we need is money. It's definitely at the very basic level, we just need enough money to pay salaries so that we can keep everybody working. In terms of development, in order to have better resources to empower our staff to learn new skills. We do need to find partnerships or find access to equipment that we wouldn't otherwise be able to afford. So we are running a fundraiser with the help of a charity, Heartprint, who have agreed to let us take tax-deductible donations from Australia and the USA. And we are I'm still in disbelief that this has even happened. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that they offered to help us. And so that link is live, and we'll be able to post that after this. But ideas for fundraisers are very welcome. Raffles, and I really would love community contribution, because the way that I see Baby Elephant Group is that it's not just about our staff, it's about you, our guests too, and it's about all of us together as one big community, as the herd, the Baby Elephant herd, doing things that make the world a better place. Yeah?
Yeah. And most of all, we welcome you as a family.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. We work here as a family, so you will feel like warm at home. So come and visit us sometime.
So we had a conversation recently, like whether our community, should we call it the herd, like because, a herd of elephants, and the team said that they would prefer for it to be called Kroser, which in Cambodian means family. So we are thinking about you guys as our family, and you are our Baby Elephant Kroser.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were there some other questions?
Well, so you're saying you welcome back people, but someone actually Ken asked, what is their expectation as far as reopening the country to tourists? So what?
Oh, that's a high-level question.
Yeah.
But just really, who are your guests now?
Yes, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Our guests are... I can just actually name them. Kate and Charlie.
Charlie, our VVIP.
When we actually a really funny story.
Yeah.
When I was talking to Camilla, who manages Yoga Space, and we was like, we need to engage more men in yoga. So let's think about our target audience. And then when we thought about it, we were like, oh yeah, Jared. Yeah, that's our target audience. Is just Jared. So not really many people around. To be honest, it's domestic tourism. There is a new campaign called Angkor Like Never Before, because one of the amazing things you can do at the moment is go to the temples here, the beautiful medieval city of Angkor, and you're on your own. You're out there alone. And so if you search the hashtag Angkor Like Never Before, you'll see some photos. And we've got people coming to town and contributing to that conversation, taking photos at Angkor of them all alone, just the temples. So yeah, it's people coming from places like Phnom Penh to visit Siem Reap, and I think that's pretty much it. NGO workers, government workers, teachers, but yeah, often they're not our guests.
Yeah.
They're our community though, and we still love them. That's it? So
Yeah.
I just wanted to wrap up by saying we've fought really hard over the last year, and we've gratefully accepted your support. So thank you to everybody who bought a gift voucher. And as you know, that was valid for 3 years from the time that you purchased it. We will, of course, follow up and ask you to come and visit us and ask you to come and spend it. But if you wanted to buy another gift voucher, maybe you could buy Pissay a manicure.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could buy me a staycation at Baby Elephant. Actually, that money will just be going to helping us pay salaries. But the other thing is we did a GoFundMe. That really, really helped us. And I want to say thank you to Ruby Red Jewelry, who ran a raffle last year for us, which raised enough money for us to pay staff. I want to say thank you to anyone who's given me a freelance contract to work, because that money also went straight back into salaries. I want to say that we're doing some other new ideas, some new initiatives. We're working really hard. We've just launched a new brand called Slam Dunk Sandwich Co.
Yeah, we got many orders since
Yes!
open. So congratulations.
Yay! And we have some other exciting news coming that I'm going to do another email update. So I will share a link after this as well to our email list so that you can stay connected. We're working on some training ideas because if we don't have customers, we better get better at everything. We have to just improve. I want our team to be leaders. I want them to be the hospitality stars I know they can be. And I want to say that for anyone who's thinking about how to be a traveller in the future, what it means to travel in the future, know that we are thinking about your safety. Safety is really important. We want you to be safe. We don't want you to get COVID. I work with the Cambodia Hotel Association. We're working on trying to make sure that health systems are better here and better equipped for you when you visit Cambodia. We also want to let you know that corporations really were of no help at all during this. The charges from Booking.com, from Agoda, and other online travel agents remain very steep. So think about booking direct when you're booking a hotel stay or a holiday. And the other thing is maybe be patient with us when you come back, because with so long between clients, there is potential that perhaps things like a tap might break or something like that. But just know that we care about you and we want the best, and even if it takes a little bit of time to fix it, we will fix it for you because you matter to us and we want your experience in Cambodia to be wonderful. So I did want to just finish up by also asking, what would you like to see more of from us? So if anyone's still watching, maybe you can just comment what kind of things you'd like to see on social media so we can continue to talk to you more. And to say to my fellow peers in Siem Reap, people who run other social ventures and businesses, that we really hope that you pull through this too. And we truly believe we're stronger together, and we'll be working for you as much as for us to make sure that tourism returns to Siem Reap quickly. I feel, there's one question coming in. A comment? What was it?
Just kind of tying back in your work, Ilana, in the community. You obviously are an entrepreneur. You're supporting your female staff, obviously, by holding an event like today to highlight them, to empower them. I know you also do other things in the community, Cambodian Hotel Association, and you're also moderator of part of groups and women's groups. So I think just really the comment of to thank you for your support as an empowering woman and supportive woman in the community to create safe and empowering spaces, not just in your workplace, but within the community and in social media groups and stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, that it's today is just a great day to recognize you for what kind of you do for a lot of other people in this community, but women especially, whether they are, again, your staff, which is like family, but other women and the groups that are you are supportive and empowering and inspiring too.
I'm glowing with pride. Thank you. The women's empowerment is very important to me, but also community empowerment too. And as I said earlier, I always believe if I'm stronger, then my community is stronger too. And if I come up, everybody comes up with me. So it's my vision that anyone who is close to me becomes the success that they want to be. Their vision, their best version of themselves. Yeah. Because together we can achieve anything. But yes, I do admin a women's group here where it's important to me to try to challenge a bit of diversity. It's very difficult. That's actually something that's quite difficult here because I'm a foreigner working in a Cambodian environment. I try to recognize my privilege, but I also try to convert it to make sure I use it for good. making sure that when I speak up in a way that hopefully helps people. And it really means a lot to me to be able to support others, to be able to use my knowledge and my skills to hopefully help people have better lives, whoever you are,
Yeah.
our family.
Yeah, family.
And Anna has commented she'd love to see more Facebook Lives events.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is one of the ways to move forward.
I was really hoping someone would say that. I love being on camera. It's like one
My
of my
first
favorite
time
things.
here.
Gang, do you want to come back in for a second?
You want to
and
come
sit?
back? Come here.
So yeah, I was hoping someone would say that. I think we're going to start doing regular Facebook Lives because this is so fun and it's so cute with our love sign behind us. Yep.
And Kate has said, maybe even hearing more about more staff stories.
More staff stories. Okay, I guess we can keep talking. Why not?
Well, or for future Facebook Live events.
Oh, for future.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I think probably it's a good time to wrap up. I think if you stayed with us the whole time, I'm extremely grateful. Are you grateful? Yes. Yes.
That's
Yep. And I am really excited today because we have a new promotion, Build Your Own Bowl.
yeah.
Where so delicious. And it means everything on our menu is now, you can make your own creation. And we've got a launch price of only $4.50. So I am hoping that I'm going to get really healthy now because you can put things like nori, like seaweed in it, and you can put pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
Oh, so many things. Cashew sauce, cashew cream cheese. So yeah, we're having a good time. And everybody's learning new things, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to learn. So I want to say to the staff that work at Baby Elephant, to all of the women in our team, that I commit to do the best I can for you and to seeing things through, to making sure that you get the opportunities that you ask for. I will fight and I'll do my best. And sometimes I fail, but I really do try to get up every day and do my best for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it.
Just really proud of you guys for doing this today.
Really
Yeah.
proud. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Akon Charan,
Akan
everybody.
Charan, everybody.
Hope to see you in Cambodia.
Yeah.
You have to turn it off now.
Behind the scene.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Have a nice day.